I'm excited about what's happening for February 21st, most likely 21st and half of 22nd in coming up 2026. I always kick off the new year with an incredible event, incredible deals, incredible programs, and bring incredible people together to teach, train, and share personal stories amongst a group. Okay. This event that I'm doing is different. The last few events that I've done, I've talked about how I am changing things up for Tag Talks. And I say I'm changing things, but I'm actually going back to the beginning of Tag and why it was created and the calling that I received from above to help people share their personal stories and help people grow, help people understand that they have things in their childhood that have affected their adulthood. I didn't realize that my childhood and my youth, how much it affected my adulthood until I got on this journey of learning, growing, seeking. And I was shown by God a vision where he showed me what happened to me as a child and how it had affected me since that day at the young age of 7 years old and how it affected my life. I always tell people, if you have children, grandchildren, if there's children around you, they are light, they are joy, they are love, and you need to show them who they are and continue to help them understand their power, their love, their light. Otherwise, it'll get faded. And society fades it for us. Things happen to us, right? So at that young age, I was hit and I went from, not hit, but I was hit with the trauma, didn't know I had a trauma. And basically this young life of love, childhood of joy and happiness went off path and just turned into a wild and crazy about, I don't know, 10, 15 years of my life. So that's where TAG derived from. If you don't know, TAG stands for Transparency, Acceptance, and Growth. And I put this company together back around 2017, brought in a few people, and we've been just having a great time ever since. But I am going back to that route because what happened is the company turned into a real business, which is fine. That's right, an income. I have been living off of this company as an income that as a company that I founded and creating income from it for all these years. I'm transitioning now where the company is not necessarily going to be my income, but it's going to go back to just being my calling and helping and serving people. Right now, to put on an event at a nice hotel, beautiful venues, and bring in cameras and AV and all this kind of stuff, there's a cost. So there is some business aspect to it. But I brought on an incredible speaker coach. So I'm not going to be doing the speaker coaching anymore. And I'm going to focus on this new business that I've founded that has nothing to do with the author, speaker, or coaching world, but I will continue to do tag talks and help people share their stories as a calling, as my passion to help people get their message out there, help them be seen and found. Because if you have, not if, you have a story and it needs to be heard. And you need to get that, you need to be speaking on stage and getting that message out there. And whatever that message is that you're speaking about needs to be in a book. And then you need to put a coaching program together where you can help and serve people because some people are going through the fire that you've come through already, and your talk, your book will help them come through that. And when they hear you speak, when they get your book, when they see your book, they're going to want more from you, right? So you can offer them coaching programs that comes from your heart, that comes from your wisdom from above. So the author speaker coaching industry is an incredible industry that, in my opinion, is the most fulfilling part of having a business where you can share your wisdom and help people change their lives. I always tell people will pay you for your past to improve their futures. People will pay you for your past to improve their futures. And that's what coaching is all about, in my opinion, right? I do not coach, teach, or train anything that I haven't personally experienced or grown from, whether it be life, business, trauma, video content, speaking, whatever it is. There is nothing that I teach that I do not do or have experienced and learned for myself. None of this comes out of just reading some instructional manual and then I turn around and teach it. Too many coaching programs are like that. And that's why there's so much, if you look at the coaching industry, there's not a whole lot of success. The success rates are very minimal. But we've had some incredible people come to our events, and we've had them go on to be on TV shows and huge podcasts and create their programs and just do very well. Why? because it's about authenticity, sharing your personal story, attracting people with authenticity. Did you know that authenticity, look it up, authenticity is the most powerful frequency and energy that somebody can put out there, right? If you've heard that people sense you and hear more from you when you walk into a room and your energy before you even say anything. When you're being authentic, that's the connection, okay? That's the connection. It's not a trick. It's somewhat of a tool. It's not a trick. But when you're sharing your heart, you're sharing who you are, and there's an emotion, there's a frequency, there's an energy that extrudes from you, whether it be online or in person, you make a connection with people, and they want more of you, and they want to be around you, and we want to be around each other. So this event coming up is going to be very impactful. They always are. I've been just spending a lot of time by myself creating, founding a new company and just doing some really cool stuff. And you're all invited to come and join and see what I'm doing. In fact, I'm going to pitch. I don't know if you know who this guy is. Am I pointing in the right direction on this thing? That's Tom Billy, who came out to my first Tag Talks event. Incredible guy, an inventor, plasticity. I mean, he talks about incredible things. I really enjoy his talks, but I am actually going to pitch to Tom coming up in the next 30 days or so about this new venture and company that I've put together. And I'm inviting friends and family. It has to be friends and family. You know, I don't know if you do know how that works or not, but in the beginning, our first rounds, I invite our friends and family. And it's an incredible opportunity for those who know what I did with Tag Talks. I built it from scratch, from nothing. It's an idea in my head, right? If you know, I think I said this earlier, TAG stands for transparency, acceptance, and growth. And I had been doing events before TAG. And what I did is I sat back and I took some time and I said, what am I doing? I asked myself, what am I doing? Hold on, let me get a quick drink. Excuse me. I sat back and I asked myself, what am I doing? What am I doing at these events? What is this, right? I knew I was helping people with my books, right? I mean, I let me see, do I have my books? So I do. So I've written a lot of books. Oh, you can't see that, huh? But this is my core book, and it's titled Heal the Boy and the Man Will Appear. And I was doing a lot of teaching out of that. And I was putting together events and I was helping people and working with people around the topics of childhood trauma. And then I sat back and I was changing the name of each event that I was doing, just kind of testing and seeing what I was doing. And I said, I have to build a brand. I need to build a brand and start to really get seen and get found and invite people so that they can see and understand that this is something real and that there is so much value to attending and or speaking at these events. So I sat back and I said, what am I doing? What am I really doing when I'm out here on stage? And what is really coming from my heart, from above? And the message that I got is that I'm being extremely transparent in who I am and the life that I've lived. If you haven't seen my story, I won't share it here, but if you want to see it, I'll put a link in the comments of this thing here. It's my shorter story. It's only 14 minutes. Everything else is an hour and a half at least that I speak from stage. Anyhow, so I'm being very transparent in who I am and the life that I've lived, right? And I've accepted. The A comes from accepted. The T is transparency. The A is accepted the life that I've lived. And I'm not scared to share it anymore because I've done and been through some wild and crazy stuff in my life. But I accepted those things as wisdom and learned from them. So transparency and acceptance, right? And then that equaled growth for me. The A is twofold. The A is also authenticity. I said that earlier. So transparency, authenticity equals growth. Transparency and acceptance equals growth. And it equaled growth for me. But I'll tell you what, when you're sharing that message, it helps other people grow. So there's twofold in all of this: transparency, acceptance, authenticity, and growth for me and for the audience. So that's where TAG came from. And when I came to this, it came from above, and I got this, and I wrote it all out, and I was like, man, this is incredible. This is it. This is what I'm going to do. I went to a couple of people that I had been doing events with, right? And I told them, I said, here's the idea. Here's what we've been trying to get off the ground. Here's what we're doing. I'm going to put together a little website, and I want to build this brand. And I asked them both. I said, listen, I'm going to need $97 from each of us, because it's going to be about $300 to get this up and running, to build the brand, a website, right, landing pages, all that type of stuff, and to host everything that I was putting together. And both of these guys, and they're great guys. I'm not saying anything bad about them, but both of them looked at me and said, I'm not going to give you $97 a month. $97. And I said, well, you don't understand. I'm not asking you to give me $97 a month. I said, I'm going to build this company. We are going to build this company. We're going to do these events. And this whole vision that I had and have put into place, I tried to explain it to these guys. And they said, no, I'm not going to give you $97 a month. And I said, okay, I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to do it. So I gave you guys first right of refusal. I'm going to do it anyways. So I put the event together. I built the websites. I did everything. In the beginning, I did myself, and then I brought on a couple of cool guys who helped me as team members, right? But I put it together. And this first event that I did was just incredible, incredible people. We had Tom Bilyeu was there. We had billionaires there who were teaching and training us incredible things. We had people who are now really well known. If I say the names, you'll see them, but they're on the website. You can look at the website. And then from there, we've just got incredible people coming. All right. We've had Kevin Harrington. We've had Forbes Riley. We've had Les Brown. We've had, look at the list. There's so many just incredible influencers and celebrities that have come out to these events because it was a vision that I had and I put it into place. Okay. I'm going to get into a lot around this since I'm just kind of doing an impromptu talk here. But let me say this, everything I'm about to say about me, you're the same. You have the same power. Okay. So what I'm about to say is not bragging, but it's the truth. And you have the same power. And we'll get into that after. Okay. So when I put something in my mind, when I get a vision, when I say I want to do something, I do it. I do it regardless. I take action, I put it into place, and I create it, and I do it, and it's successful. And I did it with this company, and I'm doing it with another company that I'm just building right now. And I also did it with a real estate business, did very well, extremely well. When I started investing in real estate, I said, I'm going to do this. And I just started doing it. I invested in a coach, obviously, way back in the year 2000, 25 years ago. I invested in my first coach ever. I don't even think the term coach was there yet. It was mentor. And I did with that coach who was experienced in real estate. I did what he told me to do, and I did very well. From there, I was able to quit my corporate job, and I started doing real estate, and then really kind of started teaching and training the coaching stuff that I'm talking about now, as far as my books go and all that type of thing. And then I got into the event world. I did very well with that. And after those events started killing it, these two same guys came back to me. I think one of them did and said, hey, okay, I want to be part of it now. And I was just like, sorry, man, it's too late, dude. You have to believe before it's created. You have to believe. Okay, I'm saying this now as a lesson. When you're creating something, you have to believe in it so much. You got to be so crazy to believe that you're going to be successful, that you make it successful. And there are those people who are not going to believe. They're not going to believe in the idea or in you. And that's okay, because you can do it. These guys, good guys, I'm not putting them down, did not believe in my vision. Even though we were working together and putting these events together, they didn't believe in my vision, which is fine because it was my vision, right? And then once it caught up and running and was very successful, okay, yeah, I'm ready now. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. You gotta be all in from the beginning, from day one. Or if you want to partner later, then now you're buying a piece of a company that is a successful company. It's not $97 a month anymore, right? So, and I had to say, no, sorry. And then what I did tell them, I said, it's not $97 a month anymore. It's 10 grand to get in, plus a monthly. And they didn't want to do that either, but it was too late, right? I would have preferred they came in and built and had the success with me. Anyhow, that's a lesson to understand, okay? Everybody has their own visions and their own ideas and their own, what do I want to say, the idea, they get these downloads and go, I have this vision. I want to build this. But there's still the concept of coming together with others, if it's similar, and building it together, okay? Unfortunately, most of the time, we have to do things on our own. Not all the time. Most of the time, a lot of times we have to do things on our own. And we offer people things that we go, listen, man, I'm giving, are you starving? Here's an apple. You're starving. I'm going to give you this apple. Come with me. And people will say, no, I don't want that apple. I don't know, not that apple. I want a redder apple. I want a green apple, not that apple. But they're starving, but they won't take the apple. They won't take the fruit of the vine. I call it. I'll get into that later. Um, so you have to believe in yourself, first of all. I was talking to somebody, somebody who's coming speaking at my event in February, and I was saying, you have to believe in yourself, right? And she's an incredible action taker. She really is. I'm super proud of her. She's 100% an action taker. And she keeps saying, well, I'm trying. Yes, I'm trying. Yes, I'm trying. And I said, can I give you one bit of advice before we hang up the phone? We had a great talk. She said, yeah. And I said, stop saying I'm trying. It's like, huh? I said, stop saying I'm trying. I said, you are doing, and it's truth. You are doing all of these things that I've suggested, that I've coached you on, and you're doing them. You're not trying, you're doing them. There's a big difference in trying and doing. So you got to believe in yourself, and that's what it comes down to. If you don't believe in yourself, you will do nothing. If you're offered an apple and you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to take it. If you're offered an opportunity and you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to take it. I tell this story all the time. When I first founded Tag, I was bringing in different speakers, getting on phone calls and the whole thing. And like I said, I was just barely creating the YouTube channel. I was just barely creating the websites and all that type of thing. Like I had nothing. I built from scratch this company, this brand. It's a global brand now. Google Tag Talks, Google Raul Lopez Jr. You'll see all the stuff that I've built since then. But if you don't believe in yourself, you won't do it. And when I first built Tag, I was setting up phone calls and telling people, and it was really just about people sharing their personal story. So I got on the phone with one woman. I don't remember where she was from or anything. It was so long ago. But she was telling me, and I could hear in her voice a little bit of being desperate. So don't ever be desperate, be confident, right? But she was a little bit desperate. Oh yeah, I have this story, and this is my story, and and nobody will give me a shot, and all of this just conversation. And I really liked sorry, let me turn this off. I really liked what she wanted to talk about. And it was the first of Tag. So I was inviting people to come, and there was no charges, there was no fees, there was no packages, there was just come and share your story. And I said, sure, come and share your story. I'd love for you to come and share your story. And she went, and I was on the phone, but I could only imagine. She's like, really? That's a really? And I said, yeah. She said, really? You're going to let me come and speak at your event? And I said, yes, I want you to come and share your story. And she said, this must be a scam. and it blew me away. And I said, what do you mean a scam? I said, I'm not charging. I'm not asking you for anything. I'm telling you, you can come and share your story at my event. No, this has to be a scam. I looked up Tag Talks, and there's nothing online about Tag Talks. The YouTube channel just has one video. And she made up in her mind, she created a reason not to come and share her story. It had nothing to do with me. It had nothing to do with my company. I was charging her zero. I invited her from my heart, listening to her story, to come and share it because I thought it'd be a good story for the world. And she found a reason not to come and share the story. And there was no reason. She created something in her head that it was a scam. I wasn't asking her for anything. So it was because it had nothing to do with me or Tag. It was her not believing in herself. Nobody's going to let me speak. Nobody this, nobody that. She was a victim. She was a victim of her own mind. And at Tag, that's what we help people shift, right? Connect your heart to your mind and watch how powerful you are. But if you're stuck here and you're conditioned, like we all are from birth, to not believe in yourself and think you're not worthy and think you can't do it, then you won't. You've heard the quote. If you think you can, you're right. If you think you can't, you're right. What you believe about yourself is where you are today. And you have to break free. Like you have to break free and go for it. You got to break free and go for it. Whatever it is. I tell people all the time, you have a powerful story and you need to get your story out. And I could put you in a chapter in one of my books and I could put you on my stage, but you don't have to do it with me if you don't want to. Find somewhere. Just do it. Do it yourself. There's a lot of people. There's so many stories. I was listening to something the other day, and I'll just say it in short. All of the Ferrari and the Lamborghini and these exotic cars, the people who founded those companies, in short, they went to the other, like the guy who founded Ferrari went to, I think I might mix this up for those of you who know, but the guy who founded Ferrari had gone to Lamborghini and said, can I have a job? And he said, no. So he created his own cars. And the same story with the Lamborghini guy. I'm sure I'm mixing it up, but that's the story. There's like 3 exotic car dealers right now that are billion-dollar companies, trillion-dollar companies. And they had gone to one another before they built their own cars and asked for a job. And they said no. So they built their own company. There's a lot of people who build their own stages. right? A lot of these people who just have personal stories that want to share that are powerful, they couldn't find stages. So I built a stage for them. But the people who don't believe in themselves always make excuses. Oh, I can't do it on this day. I can't do it on that day. Can you come closer to me? Can you do this? Can you do that? There's always victim. There's always lack. There's always something that stops people. And there'll forever be people like that. But my job, my calling is to pass wisdom on to you to get you out of that mindset. That's what my calling is. So those who follow me, get inspired by me and my story, they change their lives. They change their lives, not just by me, but by taking the action and finding their power. And then the people in my circle that they meet, the celebrities, the influencers, the people in my circle, always help them. And they continue to grow. I have incredible testimonies from incredible people who have just grown tremendously from our events. Like I said, I'm going back to the core of tag because I was partnering with a few different people over the years. I partnered with a few people. I don't say anything bad about them, but they were just more very business focused, which I understand. But I got away from my calling of helping and serving to the business side of things where I was always I became very transactional and selling. And that's not who I am. That's not who God called me to be. So now I'm putting together teams and different things. But that's like why I mentioned I've just founded a new company where I'm bringing in friends and family. I'll tell you a little bit about it. And if you know me, you know it's going to be successful. And it's in the bio. It's AI. AI is here. AI is here. And I'm not talking about writing emails and basic little AI stuff. I'm talking about true AI company, AI in biometrics and frequency, the human body, harnessing energy of the human body. Incredible company that is going to do billions. I promise you that. I've been studying. I've been in my own space for the last 6 months, and I've discovered something that's wanted by the big guys, Google's, Facebook's, things like that. You know, they buy companies for billions, right? When people create the right product, they buy it. And right now, AI and most of you, if you're not techie, if you're not biometrics, if you don't understand how money works, then you don't even understand what this company is doing. But if you believe in me, I want to talk to you. But it's biometrics, it's AI, it's frequency tracking, and it's going to reward people with real money that they can spend. AI is eliminating jobs. Amazon, UPS, all these big companies that are usually hiring in the season have laid off over 100,000 people. Google it right now. Over 100,000 people, and it's probably higher than that now. Over 100,000 people have been laid off in the last 3 months from jobs that are usually hiring right now. Why? If you don't get into AI, and I'm not talking about learning how to write emails, like I said, and create, websites and things like that and video content. Yes, you can do that. But I'm talking about true AI that's changing the world, robotics, right? Android, human droids, or whatever they're calling them, AI, tracking, data. Data is the key, okay? If you're interested in something like that, let me know. I'm inviting friends and family right now. Friends and family, if you're my friend, a real friend, because when you raise funds for such a corporation, there's different ways to do it. And legally, first is friends and family round for me, first legal route. I've talked to my VCs and people that I know in the industries. And I am going to be pitching to this guy. And Dan Fleshman, by the way. Dan, if you watch this, I know we go back and forth sometimes. I got something for you. But it's an opportunity that is incredible. Anyhow, you got to believe in yourself. I believe in myself. And when I'm on fire about something, and when it comes from above and goes bing, right here, not here, here. Do you know there's neurons in your heart? The same neurons that are in your brain are in your heart. That's why your heart's so powerful. The most powerful electromagnetic thing in the world. Natural, organic. Anyhow, yeah, powerful. If you are a friend, if you are a family, I'd love to tell you more about it. First raise, and then we're gonna get into a second raise, and then we're gonna pitch to the big guys. I'll give you a little hint. Google wants this. Google wants it already. But I got to get to a certain level. Anyhow, who are you? Why are you the person that you are? And do you believe in yourself? Do you believe in yourself? Because you need to. I'm not a fear monger. But I'll tell you, the world is changing. The world is changing. When the internet started, most people thought it was a fad, it was a phase. Other people said the internet is going to change the world, it's going to make billionaires. And it did. The simple, easiest ones: Netflix, Amazon, Uber. I mean, anything that's online, those mega companies are online. The internet made billionaires, many of them, over and over again. Continues to. AI is going to do the same thing. There are people out there saying it's a fad and it's going to go away. It's not going anywhere. It's taking over the world. And that right now, it's taking over the world. AI, the blockchain, digital currency. If you're not studying these things, you are already behind. Excuse me. I've been studying things the last 6 months that I've never studied in my life. I've been studying money. I've talked about this over and over. I've made millions, 7 figures in my life a couple of times over, and then squandered it. Wasn't able to, it's called sticky. I wasn't able to get sticky. I wasn't able to keep it. I grew up broke. I grew up in the hood. I was incarcerated. When I got money, I spend it. I love spending money. Right? I have a great time with it. I've learned, and there's all these debates, but the truth is, core happiness does not come from money. Does money make things easier? Yes. Does money give you freedom and all of these things and just create, I would say, a better life, an easier life? Yes, 100%. And I'm not putting money down. I love money. That's something I had to switch. Money is evil. No, baloney. Money is not evil. But in your heart, your sickness, your health, all of these things, your challenges you have with your family, your kids, your loved ones, that doesn't go away with money. So money doesn't make you happy, but it does give you the freedom to help and serve others. You got to believe in yourself. You got to know that you have the power to create and do anything that you want. AI, digital currency, cryptocurrencies, the blockchain, the new banking system. Stop getting concerned by all the politics and the one world order and all of these things. Because when it comes down to, if you're a believer and you quote the Bible and you go, look at all these things that are happening, that means the one world order is coming. We have to stop it. If you believe in the Bible, then you can't stop it because it says it's going to happen. Right? So put yourself in a place to protect you and your family. Understand what's happening. For those of us that didn't jump on the bandwagon when the .com internet just started, we missed out. I know a guy from back in the late 90s who saw what was happening with the internet, was not educated in any way, and went and got a job. I think it was still around. It's a big company right now, and it's not taking over AI, but it's doing a lot of AI. I can't think of the name. Gosh dang it. If I said the name, you'd know. Huge company, huge corporation right now. The founder, he's all over the internet all the time. He hangs out with, Elon Musk and those guys. Anyhow, he went and got a job for this company way back then as a janitor because he knew what was happening with these companies. He said, I'll take a job as a janitor. I want shares of the company. So they gave him enough shares of the company that over, I think, a year and a half, 2 years, those shares became $3 million. He went in as a janitor, but he wanted shares. Okay. There's a million ways to take advantage and to get involved in what's happening right now. And most of us, and I'm talking about me right now, I don't know what you do, but most of us, we look at the internet and our the AI and we go, yeah, this is super cool. And we have Gemini and ChatGPT and Grok and these things, and we talk to it and we ask it for advice and we write emails and we make scripts and texts and all this cool stuff, which is great. And if you're teaching that, you're probably making money from it because everybody else is utilizing it. But that's one little tiny piece of what AI is doing. I'm not even going to tell you what they are. Look up the 4 levels of AI that are coming right now, right? We have the current AI that's coming. Look, ask what's happening now. What are the next levels of AI that's coming? It'll blow you away, and it can't scare you. But I say create your own life, create your own economy, create what you need and what you want Protect you and your family. Because if you don't, it's going to be tough. That's not fear. It's just the truth. AI is taking over most jobs in all industries. Sales. What industries have sales? All. I get calls all the time, automated calls. And they're getting better and better because the last couple I've been on or I've received, I didn't know they were AI until I got them to fumble. Because I always ask, is this a person? I want to know. Because honestly, it's one thing. I don't want to talk to a robot. I really don't. So when I have a conversation, I'll start asking questions to see if it takes them off track. And as soon as it does, then I know I'm talking to an AI and I hang up. So it is going to need to get better. But we're still at the very beginning. Anyhow, February 21st, in SoCal, we're going to talk about all of these things and train and teach about all of these things. AI, speaking, publishing, new ventures in AI. It's going to be a great event, and you're invited. I have 2 spots open for people who want to put on a workshop, 45-minute workshop. And I have 2 spots for 7 to 10-minute speakers. So it's going to be a short event. I usually do 3 and 4 day events. We're going to do 1.5 days. 1.5 days, 5 core trainers, a couple of speakers in between. Impact training, building a community together, and taking off in 2026. What are you doing? What are you doing? How fast did this year go by? I've said it for the last 3 years. As soon as the year started, I was like, okay, let's go. We had a new year. Boom, gone. I mean, gone. We're in December. February, my kickoff. From February, we're going to go crazy. Crazy insane. Come join me. February 21st. I'm going to put my personal story at the bottom. If you are my friend or my family, and you're interested in learning about this new company that I'm launching, literally founding and launching, just like I founded Tag Talks back in 2017 and have been running strong ever since. I'm founding a new company. Has nothing to do with the author, speaker, coaching industry. Has to do with AI, biometrics, frequency, and energy of your body. Pretty wild, huh? Most people don't even understand it. Connect to the blockchain. All right, what else? What else do I have for you? Believe in yourself. Don't be afraid to invest in yourself. And if you see somebody who you know creates and builds and is successful, don't be afraid to invest in them. Get to know them. Make sure you know them, trust them, like them. See, watch, look, research their successes. And then don't be afraid to jump in. You know, Eduardo, I think his name is. Eduardo Severin. He was the founded Facebook with Zuckerberg. He invested $1,000 to start. $1,000 to put that online. That $1,000 turned into $2 billion. $1,000 turned into $2 billion. There's a lot of stories like that. I think Amazon, I don't want to mix them up because I research all this stuff, but I think was it Bezos' parents? Did loan him money, a couple $100,000, turned into $1 trillion. Look at the money they have now. Take a chance, especially if it's a low entry, $1,000 to make 2 billion. Yeah, right. And I'm not saying mine is $1,000, but invest in something you know is going to disrupt an industry. I'm going to disrupt an industry. I'm going to disrupt an industry. But friends and family has to be before I go into actual real VCs and start pitching to people like this guy right here. Dan, if you heard this talk, man, we can talk offline. I mean, when I say offline, I mean like off the record. Anyhow, I hope you're well. I hope you watch this whole thing. And I hope you understand that you have to take action. And you have to do something new. Because the world is changing like that quickly every day. The world is changing. What you've been doing will not continue to work. What you've been doing will not continue to work. I don't care what industry you're in, especially if you're an entrepreneur. Companies are firing people, laying people off because they don't need you. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and Tony Robbins said this in one of his ads. He said, you're not going to lose your job to AI. You're going to lose your job if you don't figure out AI. And honestly, even if you figure out AI, that doesn't mean you're going to keep your job, because AI will eliminate, if there's 100 people, literally AI may take that down to 20 people, 10, 15, 20 people. And it'll be the top of the people who have invested their time and energy into understanding how AI works. Because this is completely from me, my opinion. And there's probably a statistic, I haven't looked at it, but in my opinion, one person utilizing basic AI tools can replace 10 other people, 10 people total, because things get done like that. I used to spend hours writing emails. I could write 15 emails in 1 minute right now. I've programmed my AIs to know who I am, what I do, my business, and everything else. Here, write an email about this. Click. Takes more time to upload it into my websites and everything else than it does to create the emails. This is fun. Life is happening. Come hang out. February 21st. See you soon. Many blessings. I wish you all the best.